word Nevershah. Surely you, devoted to the dynasty's dominion as you are, can see as we do. Only the eradication of organic life can create a galaxy suitable for the Necrons.
We were once biological, Nyarlathotep. My memories of that mortal form may be fragmented and painful, but I have no intention of rejecting them. I despise the invaders for their arrogance in infesting our world and thinking themselves our equals, not for the fact that they still have bodies of flesh.
You will come to understand in due time. For now, I require only your obedience. A group of destroyers has shed much blood in Adeptus Mechanicus territory. They pursued their mortal prey with such honed purpose, they will soon be impossible to recall.
You wish me to lead your destroyers back to our domain?
No, Vargard. You will annihilate the next Skitarii unit in their path, enforcing a pause in their rampage. Seeking fresh means to vent their wrath, they will return to the thickest of the fighting, where I may guide their destructive urges most effectively.
This region is flooded with Skitarii fleeing the destroyers or trying to regroup. We must not waste time exterminating irrelevant pests.
I shall observe you in this endeavor, Vargard. Your conduct will determine whether the Destroyer cult has a place for you.
The curse of the Destroyer shall find no purchase in me, Nyarlathotep, no matter your opinion.
Have you not already waded through abhorrent rivers of festering life? Try to truly conceive of a Kivroth cleansed of biological filth. You will find the truth.
These humans fought with blades and bare hands. Their species seems prone to bouts of insanity that their machine cult does little to prevent.
Bring me the foe. I obey.
The Royal Guard had reached the location of the Skitari unit in the path of the destroyers. The enemy were dug in and clearly expected an assault from the Reapers who had claimed so many of their kind.
If the destroyers get here, they will indulge in such a slaughter, they might never submit to our command protocols again. Attacking a prepared foe defies all strategic protocol, but it seems our only option.
Communications network overflowed with the recorded screams of panicking Skitari and the brutal sounds of destroyer weapons. Their response to the Vanguard's advancing force was scattered and weak, and soon the humans were fighting at a disadvantage.
Though they seek to hide from us, there is nowhere on our world a foe can find shelter. Leave none standing.
Seeking the foe.
We have scoured this place of the enemy. The destroyers will find nothing to indulge their bloodthirst here.
You claim no sympathy to our goals, Farguard. Yet you are so thorough in exterminating these creatures. cautious. My destroyers were led astray by one of their number. A Skopek cursed with lingering intellect. He has forsaken my command protocols entirely and hunts willfully in defiance of my direct orders.
I trust you will find a means of correcting this situation.
I already have. You are going to eliminate him.
Mechanicus were not content to watch the Royal Guard complete their objectives. Reserve units were sent forth to cut off the Royal Guard.
Relentless as insects, but nothing beyond our capacity to overcome. We will fight them on our terms this time. As Sankotep once ruled, so we shall fight, with determination and wisdom, never to stray from the goal of the dynasty's glory.
Skitari units were aware of the Vargard's presence and were gathering to meet the new threat. Nefershah's force pursued the rogue destroyer across the battlefield, beset by fragmented Skitari attacks.
Push on and close the distance. This renegade has made himself easy to find, but if we are slowed down here, he could vanish into the bedlam of war.
I ask only that the enemy is within my reach. I am the blade.
Destroyer had carved a path of bloodshed through the Skitari, which Nefershar's force followed to find him. At the end of that crimson trail, he made his final stand.
Submit at once! You are a disgrace even to Ugansep's wretched sword. At least their mad slaughter may serve the throne's purpose. Your kind are truly beyond hope. Would that Sankotep had cast you all out long ago.
better to reduce festering biology to inert chemistry. We move ever closer to a sterile, perfected galaxy.
Nefershah did not give voice to her thoughts, for the destroyers were anathema to her, dedicated not to the rightful throne, but solely to their philosophy of extinction. Who can say, like the other Upgradato, would have to eventually The Royal Guard has engaged Hecame's warriors as the Nemesaur commanded.
And the result?
I relayed your instruction for the Royal Guard to be less than vigorous in combating the Nemesaur's warriors. The battle was drawn out and without spectacle or honor. It is thus ill-suited for the demonstration Hecame desired.
Hecame will have to cope with disappointment. If the Nemesaur is half the strategist he considers himself, he will learn not to use the Royal Guard for such wasteful purposes again.
Vargard, your service is required in a matter of interest to us both. Jepka's scrabbling through human records has unearthed the existence of a shipborne weapon they call the Exterminatus. It is said to be reserved for annihilating the population of an entire world.
Such a feat is well within the reach of Necron technology. But one would imagine that if the Adeptus Mechanicus possessed this capability, they would have already unleashed it against us.
It could be a weapon that affects only biological entities. Or perhaps the humans are loath to damage a planet they covet. I am sure you are as eager to know the details as I. Scour their networks and archives. If they might use this weapon before our own arsenal fully awakens, we should be forewarned.
I shall assign my finest cryptech to the task, Nylark.
have executed your functions with commendable diligence, despite the failings of Nemesor Hecamheb and our lost Pharaon.
As is my duty and my honor, Grand Vizier.
Yet, I sense you share my dissatisfaction with the blunt stratagems of our courtly superiors. We require a weapon to sow terror into the underdeveloped minds of the invaders, to cast the shadow of death where they believe themselves safest. I speak, of course, of the flayed ones.
The flayed ones are a disease, Grand Vizier. They may be a terrible weapon, but they are insane, unbound by royal authority. Their appetite for carnage is their only reliable aspect.
The paucity of received wisdom blinds you to their potential. Flayed ones have overtaken a failed tomb structure close to a route used by human convoys. I believe the Flayer curse draws its victims to sites of slaughter, so it should be simple to lure out a significant horde for study.
I must counsel against this, Grand Vizier.
Do not be bound by the conventions of our fallen lord, Vargard. You see a hopeless cause. I see a conundrum to be cracked. Now, go and create our calamity. Once you bring forth the flayed ones, I can begin observations. Burdened by ever greater misgivings, Nefershah could not yet defy the will of the Upgradato openly. Instead, she sought a target likely to deny her the magnitude of bloodshed flayed ones reveled in, and selected an Adeptus Mechanicus convoy ferrying materials plundered from our world.
The convoy will be at its most vulnerable at this point. Devoid of air cover and far from reinforcements. We must strike with great shock and speed. The enemy shall have no choice but to flee before us and preserve their stolen cargo.
Synaptic disintegrator fire shredded the minds of the vehicle crews, bringing the convoy's tail to a shuddering halt. As the Royal Guard rushed to engage, covering fire continued to rain down on the invaders.
Herded like the animals they are. Close in and engage.
Trap sprung, the Vargard's force continued to perform for Jebka's satisfaction. They fell upon the shocked convoy with a deadly swiftness.
I command. What wills the court? Biotransference cost us everything, but I do not miss the unreliability of the flesh. All paths lead to inevitable victory. Ready to command. What wills the court? Ready to command.
Honored Vanguard, the lead vehicle has come to a halt. They are preparing a defensive position.
A curse on these stubborn aliens. Even lowly beasts recognize they must flee when death lifts its scythe. Advance. Necrons to the front of the convoy. Shatter their defenses and force them to understand the futility of resistance. We shall deny Jakka his slaughter yet.
Ready. The battlefield changes, yet we must be constant. paths lead to inevitable victory. Ready to command. What wills the court?
As the Royal Guard advanced, more survivors of the convoy assault regrouped to bar their way.
These animals seem determined to provide bloodshed for Jepka's hubris. Make quick work of them.
Mechanicus troops gathered around the foremost vehicle of the convoy, setting up hasty firing positions. Rad-saturated gunfire fell among the Royal Guard as they approached.
Give these wretches no pause. Close with the foe and scatter them.
Beautiful noble led the assault, a shining example of the dynasty's might as they delivered the will of the Vanguard. Stormed the front vehicle in defiance of all reason. The Adeptus Mechanicus had chosen to make a futile last stand rather than flee before the wrath of their betters.
So be it. Chepka will not be satisfied until every heartbeat is silenced. Press home the blade and end this.
In obedience. What wills the court? paths lead to inevitable victory. The dynasty stands.
It is done. Fortunately, it seems we drew out no Flayer horde. Let us hope the Grand Vizier is satisfied with this slaughter.
Indeed I am. Be not concerned, Vargard. My experiment was anything but a failure.
Grand Vizier, I had not expected you would leave your research to watch such petty destruction.
But Vargard, destruction is research. These flayed ones may not have made an appearance that you could perceive, but I detected unique energy signatures from our abandoned tomb. They are watching, and with a little prompting, we will soon see their ghoulish tide sweeping over those who would challenge our dynasty. Collated and analyzed all available information regarding the human weapon on Vargard. Though the computational systems of the Adeptus Mechanicus were bizarre in their crudity, I have succeeded in my task.
Good. Report your findings to myself and the Nihilarch.
And let us hope, not least for your sake, that the tidings are to our benefit.
The Exterminatus is not a singular weapon, but an ill-defined array of planetary bombardments. Moreover, commanding such a section is reserved for the highest human authorities. The Adeptus Mechanicus on Kivrov have no such mandate, much less possession of suitable ordnance.
So the humans have the means to scour a planet of life, but keep it locked behind an arcane web of laws and obligations, where it might as well not exist. A pathetic failing, and one reminiscent of the least effective pharaons of our own kind.
All power comes with obligation, Nihilarch. If even these borderline sapients can grasp that concept, you should as well.
I can see beyond the current war, Vargard. Ours is a greater calling than simply changing the names on a star map. In time, you will see these dynastic codes for the shackles they are.
While my research into the Flayed Ones continues, I would explore other methods of waging a subtler war than my fellow Eupatrinae. The Royal Guard, being a small force with reasonably competent leadership, may prove suitable for such operations.
As ever, Grand Vizier, I am at the dynasty's command.
I would have you conduct an exploratory mission. An experiment in the field, if you will. The humans have constructed bases behind their lines from which their ramshackle winged craft launch strikes against us. Your force will infiltrate and destroy one such site to gauge how these creatures detect and respond to our operations.
Such a target will be well defended and distanced from our zones of dominion. It will present certain challenges.
So much the better, Vargard. Every crude tripwire you encounter will be recorded in my archives for those who follow in your footsteps. not only martial skill, but the ability to lead in their Pharaoh's stead. Sankotep's dynasty was well served in this, for Nefershah's mind possessed a strategic brilliance as sharp as any in the galaxy.
The humans seek always to claim more ground, like the vermin they are. They seek to swarm and surround our warrior legions. But we have waged war since before their ancestors stood upright. Their every fumbling stratagem is laid bare before us. Cryptech.
I attend upon you, my Thargod.
I have identified a region crucial to the human assaults being staged against our legions. Reclaiming it will justly curtail their capacity to advance. The speed and prowess of the Royal Guard can see it done. Deploy them immediately.
A million years of hate culminates in one shot. No enemy in my sight shall go unpunished. All shall burn. Scour the foe.
facilities proved hazardous, and several of the Royal Guard were damaged in the course of putting them beyond repair. Nevertheless, at least one building had functioned as a storage depot and held a few morsels worthy of our attention.
No enemy in my sight shall go unpunished. The enemy has fallen back, my Vanguard. They scurry like insects to respond to your brilliant gambit.
Only one battle is won, Cryptek, and all of Kivroth still cries out for victory. Our enemies squat on countless more sites, vital to their crude strategies. We shall reclaim them all. This is our duty to the throne. Grand Vizier, I report our task complete.
I am in need of distraction. Relay the results with haste. What of my objectives?
I have witnessed the invaders make use of volatile chemical and plasma fuels. A brief surge revealed a stockpile kept recklessly close to the base itself. My troops breached the containers and left the vermin to burn in their chemical flames.
The humans were unable to detect your ploy.
My choice of target bypassed the bulk of their defenses. One of their landing structures was put beyond use, along with several aircraft. I estimate the base will be inoperable for between 10 to 14 of Kivroth's cycles.
A shame you avoided so many potential sensors. But I suppose one must expect blind spots from creatures so blind in their ignorance. Such infiltration tactics have potential, especially compared to the wasteful military gestures of Nemes or Hekohib.
And what of the flayed ones, Grand Vizier? The court speaks of extensive repairs to one of your laboratory catacombs. Is your research proceeding as you hoped?
Do not mention those foul things to me again. I have moved on from such notions. No, Vargard. Your force is the key to demonstrating the triumph of subtle wisdom over raw strength. There shall be many more such experiments to conduct.
Then I stand ready, Grand Vizier.
Vargard, I have examined the coordinates you brought me. They refer to a location in a forested region that lies outside any current spheres of battle.
The Upgradato have made no effort to secure this area. Then they are ignorant of its importance.
So it would seem. Regrettably, I am in much the same position. I have been unable to divine what might lie there. The only possible element of note is the non-human craft shot down by your efforts. Its trajectory traced a path toward this region.
Coincidental, perhaps. Or the newcomers, whoever they were, had an interest in this location too. I must discover what Sankotep wanted me to find there. Keep this location a secret, Cryptek. The Upgradato cannot know of this.
Of course, Vargard. fighting on the front lines has become static and entrenched. How can my legions prevail when I have no opportunity to refine the proper tactics? Every time new combat protocols are issued, these wretches have already settled on some senseless new scheme. So my advantage is lost.
You think it discourteous of the enemy not to let your strategies succeed?
A sardonic nature does not become a servant of the Eupatridae. Furthermore, this is your responsibility. The bunker you seized from the Skitarii has been recaptured, and the commander now occupying it is one of the prime offenders. The creature recalibrates the Skitarii tactical instructions almost daily.
That hardly seems sufficient reason to consider me responsible.
Your judgment does not concern me, Vargard. You will correct the situation regardless. Remove this Skitarii leader and render its followers unable to confound my protocols.
We have reached the enemy commander's last known location, but it moves frequently, always inspecting the fortifications or consulting its officers. We must find it before it learns we are coming for it.
The Skitarii troopers possessed compartmentalized knowledge and altered pain centers, rendering them unsuitable for basic interrogation. However, information extracted from their cranial augmentations revealed enough of troop movements to deduce the target's location.
Bring me the foe. Let me give rein to our hatred. I am the blade.
Location, only to find not a command post, but a structure more typical of the invaders' places of superstitious worship. The Adeptus Mechanicus venerated a being known as the Omnissia, likely some ancestor spirit or elemental force, as is typical of less enlightened species.
The defenders are emerging to meet us. An unsound tactical choice, befitting such belligerent creatures. Let us demonstrate their folly.
The defenders were true fanatics of the humans' cult, who had invited unfettered energies to course through their altered bodies in crude imitation of a plasmonster's craft. They chanted prayers to their primitive god as they rushed to meet the royal guard.
Lunatic zealots, defending an altar to their laughable faith. Hecamede may ponder their peculiar tactics once they are all dead.
the blade. The foe.
Fought with such a gibbering fury, blind to self-preservation. These invaders continue to plumb ever darker depths of ignorance. It is
but to trap their true quarry, the Vargard's force would need to enter the lowly shrine itself, unknowing what further primitive madness they might find inside. Shackle Shrine's entrance, striking deep into the structure according to their finely tuned assault protocols. The Royal Guard swiftly reached the center of the shrine, where the Skitari leader tended to an altar in prayer, his superstitious observations interrupted by the assault. Yet, he did not immediately rise, even as the Royal Guard surrounded him.
Your kind are a truly perverse species. No civilized being would accept death so readily.
That you've singled me out as a target indicates you fear me. That you fear me indicates I have found strategies that work. That I have found working strategies confirms I have done my duty to the Omnissia.
No matter how you think you have honored your primitive deity, your victories are only fleeting. Our world is barely waking, its mind sharpening. We waited an age of the galaxy to reclaim our domain. We are patient.
The passage of time will prove you wrong, Xenos. It will not take long. After all, I do not accept death. In fact, I fully intend to survive.
Bring me the foe. I obey.
stained the altar of its indifferent god.
Its swift death gives the lie to its delusion. This rabble could never rise to our levels of intellect, no matter how long they might persevere. Time is our ally. The Necrons will prevail.
Time is not your only ally, Neferjar. These primitives keep faith with a distant and shackled god. And the traitors who command you worship only selfish ambition. But you have a true god at your side, woken from the stars. Place your trust in me, and we shall surpass them all.
Trust. Trust is the bond of a rightful master and a loyal servant. You understand nothing of trust, Godshard. Only control. And so long as you are held within your prison, that control remains with me.
Vargard Neferjar, just the functionary. The war for Kivroth proceeds with glacial slowness. The invader mocks us with its continued presence on our world. Only the enlightened application of superior Necron wisdom will break this deadlock.
I stand ready to do what the court requires of me, Grand Vizier.
Of course. And I have already developed plans to utilize your obedient service. As Sankotep's ill-conceived assault demonstrated, we do not have sufficient understanding of Ex Veritas, the principal human settlement. Fortunately, I have developed a form of specialized scarab.
A scarab, the lowest form of construct.
And one I have transformed into a perfect weapon. These scarabs will spread through Ex Veritas, relaying all I need to build a complete map of the human lair. To avoid detection, they must begin from the city's lowest point. I would have your royal guard release these scarabs at my chosen location.
If it be the will of the court, Grand Vizier, I shall dispatch the most suitable units from my royal guard to see it done.
It is indeed the court's will. More importantly, it is mine.
A tech priest target's location has been confirmed. They are animals to us, but by human standards, they are considered masters of their sciences.
Then this creature's elimination would be a most expedient measure, Honored Fargard.
Our legions are too unwieldy to pursue such specific targets. The Royal Guard must be dispatched to engage and destroy them. See that it is done.
Target acquired. Execution doctrines in effect. Let's slip the cyber canids of war. Acquiring targets.
In command. I command as I am commanded.
Patience.
Forgive us.
Acquiring targets.
Underlings dragged its carcass from the field, and the royal guard returned in triumph. With the tech priest no longer a factor, the human forces had lost access to one of their most valuable minds. Their average intelligence was thus devolved towards the dismal human norm.
Our strength is best used when it reaps those who stand most firmly against our rightful dominion. Yet for every head we scythe from their ranks, another 2 humans squabble and clamber to replace them. The Royal Guard must stand ready for further executions.
Elements of the Royal Guard with protocols suited to infiltration had traveled beneath the human city, facing cared not for their valiant struggle, concerned only with the outcome of his scheme.
Excellent. The Scarab's transmissions glimmer from every shadow. Like a web of knowledge, they knit their information pathways around the works of the ignorant enemy.
Is our task accomplished to your satisfaction, Grand Vizier?
You may return to the court, Fargard. I shall be unavailable for the time being. The human city shifts and grows with unseemly haste. I cannot waste a moment of study.
That tinkerer treats you as his underling, and Kivroth as his personal laboratory. Yet you are a hand of the Pharaon. You bear his legacy, a rightful authority that far outstrips any treasonous cryptech. Truly, he must suffer to see this usurper behaving like the Pharaon himself.
I can bear such suffering as long as needed.
Jelka thinks he has every eventuality planned for. You may seem beneath his notice, but he is surely prepared to eliminate you the moment you become a threat. Be not afraid. Nothing can prepare that traitor for the power of a deity, and that is what you hold, ready to serve at your command.
And will that deity remain under my command? No more than I will remain under Jepka's. The Grand Vizier will fall, God Shard, but I will not have to call on your power to see it done.
blades against us! Let them break their blades against us!
Your attention. The war develops in a manner not in accordance with the needs of my destroyers.
Your destroyers are but one faction within our dynasty, when you care to be counted as such. Not every decision can be solely in their interest.
But this one is of particular offense to us, and easily corrected. A circle of cryptex is cataloging the life forms that have arisen on Kivroth for study once the humans have been driven from our world.
A laudable goal once our dominion is restored, though hardly a military priority.
It is a foul perversion. Life is a rampant cancer to be excised from Kivroth, not collected and molded as if it was something benign. No. This expedition must be halted, and its leaders made an example of, so no other will seek to replicate their folly.
I acknowledge a need to punish those who become distracted from our dynasty's current war. The expedition will be executed, if such is the will of the court.
It is the will of every Necron with the wit to understand what is at stake. See it done quickly, and without mercy.
Trapped in the service of monsters. Your Pharaoh meant you for more than this, Nefertari. Together, we could destroy Ukensep and her abominations at a stroke. I could set a crown atop your brow, and we could continue what Sankotep began.
The only destruction you will cause is to my patience. I will follow Ukensep's commands and destroy these cryptics, and so draw Jebka's ire down upon the Nihilarch. Be silent, for you will not trick your freedom out of me.
rivals against each other. I understand what Cybertech saw in you. But think on it. Your only desire is to see Kivroth ruled by someone worthy of the throne. Whether you actually are done, who can fulfill that role other than you?
Shah's authority brought the Royal Guard into the zone surveyed by the Cryptek expedition. However, the area was contested by human forces. The Crypteks expected to encounter violence, albeit not from Necrons, so their presence was masked by crypto shrouds and sensor-baffling radiation fields.
We must find these Crypteks before we can execute them, and the Nihilarchs will. It must be done directly. Royal Guard, let us begin our search.
Shrouded by their defenses, the Cryptek trail was difficult to detect consistently, but revealed the direction of the expedition. Rapid calculations gave Nevershah an approximate location, which was duly cut off and surrounded.
We have their location. Now, close in and tighten Ukoncept's noose. Be aware. The Crypteks will be ready to defend themselves, and some may even anticipate a betrayal from fellow Necrons.
years of hate culminates in one shot. A million years of hate culminates in one shot. Wrath made manifest.
Few cryptecs are eager to risk their expertise in direct combat. At the first sign of hostile presence, they sent their constructs forth to form the first lines of defense.
This is an infuriating waste of time and energy, but the Nihilarch must be appeased. Sweep this chaff aside. who concepts obsessions. We should be laying waste to the human invaders instead of wreaking havoc on our own.
Nefershah's frustrations had not ended, for as the Royal Guard closed in on the cryptic's location, new foes leapt from every direction.
An ambush. The cryptics have tasked their most dangerous underlings to lie in wait for us. An admirable gambit, but mere cleverness will not be enough. Form up and repel the enemy.
Warred with Cryptic's own authority, and some of the enemy were stunned into inaction by the conflict inside their limited minds. The remainder crashed into the Royal Guard as battle was joined.
Scour the foe! Punish them! Fury of the Suns! does not preclude my enjoying it. A million years of hate culminates in one sheet.
themselves remain, cowering where they had taken shelter behind their construct cells. They were utterly at the Vargard's mercy.
Finally. Now to dispatch these unfortunates, and Ukensep's wretched errand is done. Ukensep despises all life, and your studies of it offend her twisted sensibilities. I wish that Sankotep had cast out her kind, but he did not. And now you must suffer for it.
The executioner's shots fell upon the cryptics, and they were no more. With the expedition cast down and destroyed, Nefershah's task was done, and word was sent to the Nihilarch. The cryptics of Kivroth soon became wary lest their works offended the most feared of the Eupatridae, a development that pleased the Grand Vizier not at all.
Weakened in mind, Sankotep may have been. That I can admit. But he never turned me upon our own without cause. Let this not herald the start of a pattern.
You know as well as I, Nefershah, this will not stop until only the most ruthless remain. Sankotep's beloved dynasty will devour itself with these usurpers in charge.
And the only solution is to set you free. Is that right, Deceiver?
The solution is to harness every tool available. I am at your disposal, a bound and willing servant of your vision. Why else would your Pharaoh bestow me upon you? Is the idea any more insane than allowing the likes of Ukensep to rule your world?
Would that your prison contained your is your essence, but it does not matter. Your gilded words are a challenge to my resolve, and one I shall overcome.
You, Cryptek, you are the one who attends to the Vanguard. Is that not so?
I am honored to be recognized for my modest labors, great Nyarlathotep. How can this humble servant be of use?
Where is Nefashar?
The protocols of discretion admonish me from disclosing the Vanguard's location at this time.
Your loyalty to her is irrelevant compared to your command of the Eupatridae. You obey the protocols of the throne like every other subject. Answer me.
I beg all forgiveness, Nyarlathotep. What you ask is not possible.
The Vanguard has issued a command incompatible with my own. We can settle that conflict of protocols. I am sure Jebka could subdue your personality entirely if it continues to trouble you.
The Vanguard has departed for a location ordained by our former Pharaoh, though I know not what significance it might have. I am transmitting the coordinates now.
Good. I see it is a place ignored by our strategies. Until now. Interesting. Not least because Sankotep withheld it even from us. But there are no secrets from the Eupatridae. I expect you will continue to demonstrate your loyalty to us, Cryptek.
A moment of weakness, of eternal shame. But a mere Cryptek had not the strength to